They played at the World Magic Cup, Team Italy, and some sideboard notes and things of that nature. So figured we'd give them a try. Um, Anybody who's watched me play this deck in the past has known I've been absolutely in love with the card Nullhide Ferox, so I'm kind of disappointed that it's no longer in our sideboard. The main deck was actually still the same 60 card main deck that we played oh so long ago that we stole, and I don't know where it originally came from. Like, I'm not saying I built it, I didn't build it, I'm just saying it was like the one that did good in whatever event ages and ages and ages ago. So it's kind of good to see that it's still reasonable. The sideboard's pretty different. Like I said, no null hides. Four Knight of Autumns, which we bring in versus Boros, which is kind of cool. More than anything, though, I'm just really impressed to see how he said the sideboard. Things like versus Jeskai Control, he says he doesn't like to cut any copies of Cyberling Migration or Loxodon or anything. Which kind of blows my mind. I guess this build doesn't have the additional planeswalkers, so like you really only have four cards you want to bring in this build, the bindings and the Mortal Suns, but just in general, that's kind of interesting to me. Opponent. Hopefully we'll hit a white mana. I think this hand's a pretty easy keep. Hey Redbeard, what's up? It's it's definitely a long queue time during the night. Played Modern earlier and you saw how much faster Modern was. Well, George, it's past midnight doing a Thursday stream. Really, really need to hit this white man in the next two draw steps. I think this is a pretty easy block. Well, I was awake and I didn't have anything to do till about 3:30 a.m. So figured we'd go ahead and get her done. Miria wouldn't be a bad draw either. Well, hopefully we won't struggle with lands in our two-color deck. Looks like we're going to. I don't hate Arena. I think Arena's fine. I don't think it's as competitive as MTGO yet. But it'll get there. Not being able to cast History was just so brutal. I think I still have to block one of these as well because to try to stop the Legion's landing a little on the next turn. I like Arena. I don't like it as much as MTGO, but I like them both. Alright, you can do it, deck. Land us. Or we get the scoop. Oh, we get the scoop either way. Think we just scoop either way? Maybe not. Can't imagine how we win from here. Even if we somehow manage to get by these, there's nothing we're going to be able to do to that. Oh, they're playing that build of the deck. That's good to find out. We have reasonable blocks now, so that's kind of cool. Can't ever beat can't ever beat Pride of Conquerors, but if we had Pride, he'd attacked with these, I think. Also blocked very poorly there. No, I think I made the right blocks. This gives us the best chance of having good blocks. It doesn't have any great attacks. That was interesting. I think I just double block again. We only lose one of our people like this. I get to keep the one I want. Aw. Boo. It's good to make a lot of tokens here, but I think we're still alive as long as they don't have a heroic reinforcement or a... Actually, we're alive for heroic reinforcements. That's the one card in their entire deck we can't beat. What a tilt! Like, we were going to win this game if they didn't top deck this exactly this turn. That's a bit frustrating. Wow. Savage. I think we had to get Mana Screwed to even be in this spot, and then they top deck to get out of it. Oh well. I definitely want these. I definitely want these. I definitely want these. Don't want these Ajani's. Don't want these Adontos. I like the blocks I was making. Cut one of our bigger cards since we brought another 5-drop in. Whoops. Oh, that Benalish Marshall is so good. How many things had to go poorly for us to lose that game? Yeah, he had 5 points of flyer. Wait, didn't he? Yeah, he had a 3-3 flyer and a 2-2 flyer because of the Marshall. He had one counter on one of the flyers from Hierarch. Unless I looked at my life total wrong, I think I was at 5, wasn't I? Oh, the one of the flyers was a 3-3 and the other was a 2-2 due to a Hierarch counter. I think this hand's good enough to keep, but it's not real good. I'm actually going to need this land later. Kind of want to justify trying to hold the flower, but definitely going to need the land. Sure. That was my knuckle, and that hurt. It has First Strike and Mentor? That's an interesting card. I've not saw that played in these decks. It's going to be very good in this spot, though. Am I supposed to just block this? I think blocking is fine. Feel substantially far behind right now. Because I think they'll also have one of these. Pretty happy to trade here if he lets me. I'm going to lead with this one because of the Conclave Tribunal. think I just take 5 one time. Think it's better to get rid of that one. And I have to attack because if he has a removal spell, it's just too bad for me. It's not dead, is it? Nope, that's exactly dead. Well, it's technically one more than dead. Oh well. I really feel like that's a favorable match, but we did not have good draws. Not a fun way to start off a league. Could have held the Lyra back to play around Heroic Intervention, but holding the Lyra back doesn't play around him just having an enchantment removal. I guess it does. Maybe the Lyra's never supposed to attack. Yeah, the Lyra attack was probably wrong. And here's an opponent. Hey, we won a dash row. You guys can't see this, but I'm shaking my head at not having double white mana again. I considered that as well. I kind of changed my mind about that when I drew to Tristani. Well, I feel like this is a pretty favorable match too, but obviously it looks like we're just going to miss our white mana and it's not going to matter. Because that's how that's the world we're living in today. It's a fun world. They leave that walker on top, the game's probably over. And they did. The reason I say the game's probably over is because we're not likely to beat this without a conclave in our hand, and we have to be drawing other things to even being competitive right now. Hopefully they won't have another branch walker. They've already been to... I guess that worked out. Just means they have another Jade Light Ranger, though. Hmm. Okay. Yep, like I said, they'll have another Jade Light Ranger for sure if they made that play. Sure. You get one free block. Kind of want to go ahead and play this, but I don't think I should. Just going to pretend like they don't have it, because I think if they have it, we're dead. So we're hoping the last two cards isn't a land and a finality. Cool. Tapped land. So we have that at least going for us. Yes. I think we got lucky there. But it's kind of a combo deck. Like, you're really just wanting to stall the early game and then draw into these two cards, and then you just win. So what do I want? Definitely want bindings. Definitely want Immortal Suns. Definitely want City Light Bust. I think I want the Settle the Wreckage and probably Baffling Ends. Cards that are bad. Dantos were good that game, but in general they just have so many blockers. This card's not actually good here. These cards aren't very good here either. Just trying to take it to the late game. Good enough to keep. Gonna have to draw lands again. It's a 21 land deck, but it's got the 4 flowers, so it's almost like it's got 25. I think you just have to keep these draws. And get punished. Well, we've not played a turn 3 history of Benalia, even though one's been in our hand almost every game. That was a good draw. That was a frustrating draw. Still just going to cast one of these. That's if I'm trying to stall the game, I have to do this block. Hmm. This uses my mana the best. I was kind of assuming they just need lands when I see that happen. Because even if I had a Brontodon in my hand, I would keep additional copies of a Brontodon. So unless they had, like, multiple, like a Brontodon plus a Vivian, I probably wouldn't expect it. That's scary. That probably means we're getting Relic Seeker or Carnage. I really just want to play one of these. Mainly just because if we can hit the land, it's insane. We didn't hit the land. Hmm. We really needed our 6th land. Alright, I'm just going to try to get lucky here. We're in super bad shape. We can't beat finality at all. We're just trying to get lucky now. It's probably better for me just to play the Immortal Sun. The Immortal Sun was the safer play. I'm like legitimately trying to get lucky. Kind of trying to force him to use a finality so that we can Immortal Sun to a clear board. Or a clearish board, but our Wombo. They have a third Brontodon. Alright, well the game's over. If our opponent has 3 Brontodons, we're not winning this match. Because that makes our Immortal Sun plan terrible, and we have no other way to really win. That's rough. Just gonna run it back. Most people aren't on Brontodon anymore, so. And almost nobody's on 3 because they're not good in any match except for this match. Like, they're not good versus Jeskai, really. They're terrible versus Drakes. They're terrible versus Dimir. Now, they hit a Midnight Reaper off the Brontodon, or off the Vivian Reed. I didn't expect a third one of those to even be in the deck. Like, I didn't think there would be another in the deck. They'd already showed us 2. I didn't expect 3 to be in the 75. Because, like I said, the cards are pretty bad right now. They're not very good versus Jeskai. That's not how you win the match. You don't care about Ixalan's bindings. You beat Jeskai by just like grinding them out with Carnage Tyrants and Planeswalkers. Yeah, well, map is a bad Magic card, so I don't worry about that. They are good versus Azcanta, but if you're just trying to beat Azcanta, like, there's better ways to do it. Like, do you really want to spend 4 mana to kill an Azcanta? Like, you already have Vivians, you already have Vraska's Relic Seekers. And I'm not advocating that Thrashing Brontodon's not playable. I'm saying I don't think that 3 of them's very good. I think Map is an unplayable Magic card. It blows my mind that people play Map. So this game's already over. They had a double Wildgrowth Walker draw, and we missed lands. It's just really bad. Search for Azcanta's 10 times the card Map is. We legitimately cannot win. Like, when you just read Map sounds like a good Magic card. Like, it does things. But when you really think about it, Map's only good when your opponent isn't doing anything, right? Because it makes you have to choose, do I want to map? Or do I want to cast Electrolyze? Do I want to map? Or do I want to cast Silhouette this turn? Do I want to map? Or do I want to cast, my Settled Wreckage? It makes you make a lot of decisions that you never want to make. Which is why Search for Azcanta is just a better card. You just slam Search for Azcanta and you get your value every game. And getting a turn like 12 of that other card is not great. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blockers. So we're going to get in with 9, 15, so we can put them at 6. Putting them at 6 doesn't win. I mean, I've played Jeskai on stream like 8 or 9 times. Or I think it was actually 7 times. So, like, I'm not saying that without having tested the match and played the match. So just attack them with everything. We're going to block 5. Take 30. That doesn't seem good enough. I think I have to kill this, which really sucks. So to kill this, I have to attack it with a bunch of these, like 8 of these. And I guess we're just kind of hoping they don't have finality. I think it seems okay, but if they have finality, we go back to 0 and they still have a Vivian. So the blocks they're making guarantees that they have finality, so I'm pretty happy we killed Vivian. But they don't have the land? They don't have the land. Alright, so if we draw land, we win? That's not a land. Toughness 4 or greater, so we can get rid of 2 of these, and you take 16, so you're dead. Exact skis, baby. Well, exact skis if they made a different block. We got lucky they didn't have the 6 land there. The way they blocked with the Wild Growth Walkers really indicated that they have the finality already in their hand. So we got pretty fortunate there. But Redbeard, I know. You got to keep in mind, I'm not a good player. I'm not a pro player. I have my random opinions, but like, I find treasure map only good when you have it on turn 2 or turn 3, and then like it doesn't do the ramping if you draw it on turn 5 or 6 or 7, right? Like it doesn't ramp into a Midnight Reaper super fast in those situations. I think Search for Azcanta is just better if you draw it in the late game. And I think it's better if you draw it in the early game too, because to get to those situations, you generally have to spend your mana on stuff, right? Like you're not taking turns off versus Boros and winning the game. You're not taking turns off versus Jeskai Drakes and winning the game. Like you're using your mana every turn versus those decks. I just personally think that Search for Azcanta's better. I could be unduly biased because we played so much Search for Azcanta before before Kaladesh and stuff rotated. Like I could believe that. I could very well believe that I'm just biased about it. I maybe should have got a 4-star because I know I'm casting a Danto this turn. JK, doesn't matter. Casting a Danto, though, instead of the thing they can just shock. Don't much care if they have a seal away. Find this to be one of the harder matches. Hmm. I've definitely tried a bunch of the map builds. Like, I played Adrian's list. I've tried the Jessup's list before they added, or before they cut the maps and put it in searches. I've tried the French list. I don't know what's in our opponent's hand. I'm going to cast something, though, so hopefully they can't draw to. Yeah, they're going to draw two anyway. Um, it's it doesn't play around a counter spell that way, right? Like he countered the first Emeria with a Sinister Sabotage. So if he counters the second Emeria, then he couldn't counterspell anything. Yeah, I just made a play mistake. I 100% should have cast Emeria that turn. That was just a fuck up. Too busy talking about the Jeskai stuff and then fucking up versus Jeskai. Excuse my language, I shouldn't be cursing. Now that was just a large play mistake. Play this just in case they have Syncopate. Hopefully it's not Essence Scatter. Essence Scatter's not popular anymore. But it's not non-existent, it's just not popular. Well, a lot of our stuff survive at Clarion now. Boo. Less of our stuff survive a Clarion now. I wanted to play around Syncopate that time. Syncopate's a pretty common card for these decks. That's why I played the land even over casting the Temple Garden. And we're dead. This match is exceptionally tough. Like, it is not a very good match. And the Emeria play was already a punt. I don't know if it's a punt that changes the outcome of the game, but it's certainly a punt. I assume they just have another Silloway. Well, I can't save my guy or I'm dead. Oh, you queued for the next PT too? At an RPTQ? What'd you play in RPTQ? Also, congratulations. It's pretty easy for them to have a counterspell right now, but if they do, that means they'll be tapping out and we still have a chance to draw a Conclave or something. Infect. I considered playing Infect on the Modo PTQ this weekend. There's the Syncopate. Dead, fam. Man, I'm real happy for you. You know, I've never qualified for a Pro Tour because I suck too bad. First time at the PPTQ, second time at the RPTQ. Was you happy with your list? Like, how much work has your team or whatever did into building it? Or put into building it? It's the cards we need, but I think it's too few mana. Definitely keeping that, which means I'm not casting the flower on turn 1. Some deck lists and cobble together something. Alright. Well then. Did you play a paper RPTQ or did you play a real life one? Wait, that's the same thing. Did you play paper or did you play the Magic Online? No Syncopator Negate one time? Alright. Now, no Deafening Clarion one time? 50 people, that's not bad. Was it 4 spots or 8? I think it's 4 at 50, right? Don't you Clarion us. We probably lose if you Clarion us. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and use this. It might be wasteful, and I should have sequenced it differently if I was going to. 4. Not bad at all. That is really, really cool. Kind of feel like I'm supposed to just pretend like they don't have it on my hands this week. Like, we don't have any Vivian Reeds or anything, so... It's not like our hand gets a whole lot better. But you conceded when you won? Yeah, I had a weird welding jar question today too, or situation today too on stream. Hey, Sean Corp. I don't know how much longer we're going to be live. We're about to be we're about to have our second loss in this event. We are getting crushed. And I think I ran somebody away disagreeing with them. Huh. Kinda just want to play this. That's what I get for playing green-white tokens. I think the deck's good versus black-green. That counts for anything. Uh-oh, they kept that card. That's not good for us. It's the first game we drew all of our lands. We've not wanted them. Drew a lot of spells this game too, though. Like, we've had a reasonable draw. There's nothing unreasonable about this draw at all. Still have 3 cards in their hand? They'll keep playing these lands because, I don't know, March, I guess. I'd like to be on the 5 card side of that. Niv Mizzet, and game's over right about now. Alright, well, we're going to have to rally back and win the next 2 if we want our pity chest. Oh yeah, definitely dead. I feel like these decks just need a little bit more to do in the early game. They're powerful though when they spin right. I mostly play them because I think they're good versus Boros and they're good versus Black-Green, but I think they're bad versus about everything else. I don't think they're very good versus Drakes or very good versus Jeskai. And we dropped a match versus Boros, even though, like I said, I think we're favored versus it, but you can still lose. We didn't have double wide on turn 3 either game, so that we lost to Boros rather. But I like this deck. It's just hard for me to want to play anything. It mostly just doesn't attack very good. We're not really pumping it. Just doesn't do a lot in this deck. This deck's kind of like a combo deck. It puts a little bit of pressure into early games, like you can win with histories and stuff, but most of your wins just come from March into Flourish. Or like some ridiculous venerated Loxodon turn. You don't really win by grinding them out with your creatures. I guess this is a keep. I kind of want that because it's super powerful. But I don't know when I would cast it. Like, the only way I would ever cast this if I drew exactly planes on my second draw step. Because I think it's just better to turn 3 history, turn 4 history, and that's the only way we can guarantee it. Well, I mean, we can't guarantee it ever. They could have counter spells or discard spells or whatever. That's sweet. That's a fun card. Just felt like drawing 8. So these are the type of games that Treasure Map are actually good in, right? Like a game where I'm not going to be casting spells. But any card's good. Like I've already said, these Steam Vent decks are good versus this deck in general. So like, it's what decks would this be bad versus is the question. They have Spell Pierce in their deck. You should not have Spell Pierce in any of your decks that isn't an aggressive deck, in my opinion. Um, yeah, I guess so. If we were on to play though, like I think we just win this game pretty easy. Mm, can't beat Deafening Clarion this game. I'm not even going to try to. I'm willing to scoop if he casts Deafening Clarion. I just want to cast things while I can. Like, he has way too many cards for us to win any other game. If he untaps and casts a sweeper, I'll just scoop. Sure. No dive down would be nice. Hey, they don't have a dive down. Hmm. What does Teferi do here? Gets this thing back. Um. So they're gonna be able to draw a card and kill a thing. So we need to send two things at that. Just attack them with everything. They block this. They take 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8. Huh. Okay then. Guess this is bad if they have opt. This is really bad if they have opt. Not actually sure what a good play is if they do have opt. I guess I can send lethal at them and these three here, and then opt doesn't do anything. Well, I mean, opt does things, but doesn't do anything great. I have to imagine we're dead, though. Sure. I don't know how many cards that we untap and beat. Pirates Village? Okay. Our opponent's certainly on a brew. If they don't have a counter spell or a protection spell, we can still draw Conclave and win. I think it's still right just to attack. If they somehow have a bad hand, they die to the board. Yeah, I didn't expect them to have a bad hand. Alright, well, we're just dead. I guess we can scoop. It could have been worse. Certainly isn't good for us, but it could have been worse. So they have at least 3 Niv Mizzets. I might bring in the Crushing Canopy then. Um, I don't really know what else to take out. Alright, can we rally back? This hand's good. This hand's very good. Wonder if we'll lose to Spell Pierce again. Probably not. We're probably just going to cast a Danto into a Danto now. I want to play around Spell Pierce. Or not Spell Pierce, but Syncopate. So I'm going to play my land before I cast a Danto too. Dantos are our best cards in the match. Wasn't really on time, but it's a fine card. See if they have a Spell Pierce. They do not. Sure. What are you binding, my friend? That's fine. This game here is kind of stressing my point about Treasure Map earlier. He used all of his mana on multiple turns, and because he used all of his mana on multiple turns, like his Treasure Map's still really far away from being active. Alright, so what are we going to attack with? We're going to attack with enough to make him blow an ability if he has it. So we're going to attack with these, but we're not going to attack with them all. So if he has Settle, still gets a good Settle off here. Can stay alive with Steal Away. That's fine. Gonna go ahead and cast this. Not gonna tap that one. Don't think we ever need that one token. And I don't want him to get a 3 Seal Away, because we may not attack with Dodonto next turn. In fact, we probably won't attack with Dodonto next turn. So I didn't want to give him a chance to have like Seal Away into Clarion. Dodontos are definitely our best card in this match. Alright, so going into game 3 on the draw. I think I'm going to bring in some Knight of Autumns. I'm going to bring in very many of them though. This is mostly because we're on the draw. On the play I wouldn't bother. But we're not in a very aggressive deck, so it's pretty easy for him to cast a map onto and get easy activations on it when he's on the play. This hand's not keepable. Need a second land, too bad. Alright, this hand's fine. Gonna keep that, even though it puts us further away from the second history, or from the first history, but like I said, this is our best card in the match, so yep. When you're on the play and you have it on curve is, like I said, the only times that it's relatively good. Especially versus a deck that can't pressure you or really remove it. I'm not going to play into a counterspell. I'd rather just play another Adonto and see if they can answer them in time. They left Shocks in versus me. It's one of the first cards I take out. It's kind of interesting that it didn't map that turn. Huh. That's a good one. Other map's a pretty good one too. Hmm. Think I want to cast this turn. It's a good amount of power on the table. Trying to decide whether I'm playing around Settled Wreckage or not is the super hard thing to do here. I think they counterspell this probably if they have it, which lets us attack and know we can attack. That's fun. Alright, so 13 damage in. We are protected versus one sweeper. So we have to worry about Settled Wreckage still. I'm just going to attack with two things. Sure. Don't want them thinking about this march. that is a pride killer, man. I could have marched there and probably been okay, but I didn't want them thinking about it. I wanted them to need a counterspell for it. Because if they counterspell it, we're going to win up to Danto and the Knight anyway. Well, most likely. Don't want to say guaranteed. So they have one card in their hand. We just turn things sideways. And what one card could they have? Alternatively, we could play the Flourish. Flourish lets them draw a card, they kill this. Assume they have a couple of card draw spells, maybe kill a few more. But if they have a counter spell, the Flourish doesn't resolve. And they're still dead? It's right the Flourish, isn't it? I don't know, both win, don't they? What one card could he have? I don't think he can have one card. I think he has to, like, opt into some things. Alright, I think I like this. No reason to let him cast a Syncopate on it or whatever. He gets to kill one of our guys here, but the end goal is he's probably not killing both of these, so it probably makes him trade to Niv Mizzet. Okay. Maybe I was just overthinking it then. I don't think he could deal with all of that. I think I was just overthinking it. Hey, we beat Treasure Map on the draw. Suck it, Redbeard! I'm just kidding. Obviously, one match means nothing. But we have a chance for a pity chest, friends. That sucks, too. I had something to do at 3:10 this morning. We're just going to have to beat this next guy quick. This next opponent quick. Sorry. Next opponent must be defeated. And then I can eat my hamburger that's in the fridge. Next opponent, I'm going to defeat you. Hey, we won a dice roll. Hey, we have a good enough hand. Probably should have played the Forest. The Forest masks what we're playing slightly better. Hey, it's another Steam Vent deck. No, that's probably not good for us. Hopefully it's just Opt. No Shockerino. Okay, no Lava Coil Areno. Third Jeskai deck. Why can't this be a Golgari night? Why can't I be playing Golgari tonight if we're just gonna get paired versus Mono Jeskai? It's popular, and I'm not actually sure why. Like, I really just don't understand why people want to play decks that are not favored versus Golgari. This deck, like Golgari, is just the best deck in this format by a lot. At least I'm playing a deck that has a good match versus Golgari. No, and History of Benalia. You can do it. Nope. Well, we're dead. Not going to concede though. Want to see more what build they're on so we can like make sideboarding adjustments. Well, we found all of our 21 lands this game. All 21 of them already in our hand. No, not a second Teferi. Boo. Oh yeah. Tristani in the house. Their opponent has 6 spells in their hand, probably, considering they missed a land drop. Don't kill my soldiers. You have double shock in your deck? I don't like shock in these decks at all. Guess double shock would be better than a shock and a clarion, though it's probably a shock and a clarion. Have to imagine they have more clarions in their deck than shocks. They changed their mind. That's interesting. Why did they not kill this? They just threw a shock away for nothing. Don't tell anybody, but we drew the combo. They'll have a counterspell, but it's neat that we drew it. Imagine if they don't have a counterspell. What if we just get them? What if they tap all their mana or do something wild? Just grab to the top. There you got it. Really hope they Clarion as well. Oh no, they're not going to cast Clarion. Boo. You can just do it for 2. That's not going to win the game. Alright, balls to the wall. Show me one of your counterspells. Incoming wastefulness. An attack Teferi of both. I'm not sure how we beat the treasure map from this spot. We've been behind too far the whole game. If they had a search for Azcanta, we'd have already conceded. What is this? You didn't tap red mana, friend. We see all the treasure map now, so I think we can go ahead and concede. Eh. We'll give it one more draw step. One more draw step. It's a land. We done. Alright, so I want these. I want these. Think I want this. And I could technically use some of you. Cut one of you. Gonna cut one of you. Gonna cut all of you. Gonna cut two of you. Know what I'm gonna cut for the other three cards. Or two cards, I guess. Like, these don't seem very good. A million mana. Okay. Let's do this. Hand's good. We have our best card in the match. We're gonna have to draw more lands, of course, but the hand's good. Paid two. So they have a syncopate of some kind? Okay. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't have a spell I can cast anyway, other than a Knight, which I'm not going to cast for no value. Especially since it just dies to shock. Which we've already saw from this opponent. Hey, Tiku. I've not saw enough spoilers to have any comments on that at all, but I've actually not saw a white-black card even spoiled that was good. You would imagine that they'll get better, but I've just not saw the cards released yet, so it's like way too early to tell, I think. I hope they bring back some kind of token thing, though. That'd be sweet. What if our opponent thinks that I'm refusing to cast things because of his prowess? Because I'm not refusing to cast things, I just don't have anything. Huh. Wonder what's better here. Adding to the board's probably better, right? Could play this and this, which lets me save this and this for next turn. and force him to use this turn to really play a sweeper. And even if he has a sweeper, it doesn't stop the Danto. I think I like that. Yeah, so here's the Deafening Clarion. So hopefully we'll draw a land because they represented Syncopate much earlier in the game, and I don't want to just run this into Syncopate. Huh. Guess this is okay. They used their white mana too, so we don't have to worry about Seal Away unless they untap. Is they can Sinister Sabotage this just for the Surveil? They're considering shocking. Does that mean they're just considering playing Niv Mizzet in a prayer? They did not shock. Sure. Fine. Seems like a Clarion Explosion. It's just Niv now. Oh, Star of Extinction. Well, that didn't dawn on me for a second. Well, we know we're drawing our Danto next turn. So we at least have that going for us. Double star. And this one's just a fairy. We're going to lose this game when we got them to 1. I thought we played really well. Thought we played really, really well. I have to try this one, even though they showed us Syncopate earlier in the game, so they have Syncopate now. Still think they have a Syncopate? Wouldn't mind to draw a land this turn. That doesn't count. Because I can't play that. We lose our Donto if I play that. If they have counterspell, we lose. That's the Syncopate that I already thought they had. At least they put on bottom. That's a Niv Mizzet. Alright, well, we lost. GG. I thought we had that one. Yeah, we got paired versus 3 Jeskai decks, though. This deck's just not very good versus Jeskai. Anyway, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you guys all. Thank you everyone for coming out. And we'll be back later. I'm going to go watch League of Legends. Take care, everybody. It's good to see you again, Guo, and congratulations again on the Pro Tour.